I am pretty sure you noticed right away when you came today that Father Dad looks so handsome in pink. Actually, it's in rows. We are in what we call Laetare Sunday, the fourth Sunday of Lent. The church is reminding us after 4 weeks of prayer, doing penance and fasting, hang in there. As we continue our journey, we'll begin to experience spiritual joy. It comes from the expression, Laetare Jerusalem, rejoice Jerusalem. So maybe you've been working really hard at it and it's been hard, hang in there. Maybe you like, how did Lent begin? Begin today. There is spiritual joy waiting for us as we come to discover the Lord. Today, beautiful parable of the prodigal son, which exhibit to us the amazing love, compassion, and mercy of the Father who invites us to come home and be reconciled. Talking about reconciliation and confession, I remember almost 21 years ago when I finally was ordained a priest. We had a beautiful first Mass celebration and a reception. And afterward, I was looking forward to I was telling my mother, Mom, I'm ready to hear your confession. I worked 9 years for it, right? And of course, my mother, bless her heart, she looked at me and she said, in my dead bed, maybe. 21 years, she haven't done it. I have to tell you, I had an opportunity last Lent, okay? I went to help out with their confession service at her parish. And so I was thinking about it, wouldn't it be cool if she happened to line up where I'm at? And sure enough, when I went, they put priests throughout the church. So they put me like right here, another priest in the middle, and another priest over there, and all the other priests around, and they lined them up. And so to my surprise, I found my mother sitting lining up here. I said, but this is my opportunity. So I was hoping that by the time it's her turn to get up, that the other priest will be occupied, and sure enough, it was. And so I want to make sure I finish real fast, get this person out. My mother walked up to here. Those two priests were still in confession. I got it. And she turned around, and she saw that it was empty. And then and she came over here and waited. I had nobody until this person showed up, and she went over there. Mom! I want to imagine, it's so awkward for my mother to go to her son, to go to confession, right? I want you to imagine how incredibly hard it is for this younger son to come home out of his desperation. So he came to his father. He, like many other young people, don't like that his father tell him what to do. He felt like he has no freedom. And he couldn't even wait. So he told his father, Father, give me your inheritance. In other words, this is such a terrible, hurtful way of treating his dad. He said, Father, I don't want anything to do with you. I'm tired of being in this house. I want to have my own freedom, but since you're not dead yet, would you give me your inheritance so I can go far away from home and do whatever I want to do with my own freedom? Now his father gave him that, and he went away, far away from home, nobody watching over him, doing whatever he wanted to do, spending with his money. And brothers and sisters, you and I know that when we begin to live our life in what we call that kind of freedom, distorted freedom, all we do is doing whatever we want, feeding to whatever we want, our passion, our desire, which is never enough. And that's exactly what happened to him. A famine broke out. He became broke, poor, wasn't enough. He was so desperate, he worked for a pagan who raised pigs. Brothers and sisters, you and I know that for the Jews, pig was considered an impure animal. Touching a pig, being around pig, who like being around rats, so they don't hang out with pig. So here is the son. He's so desperate, he go and he work in the pig farms, and he longed to eat with the same pot with the pigs, and he couldn't. In other words, he found himself in the lowest point of desperation in his life because of sins. You see, that's what sin does to us. It's not like God going around punishing us. We do it to ourselves. We hurt ourselves. And so coming to his sense, he thought, okay, I'm going to come home. At least the people in my father's house have enough to eat. The servants. So here I am. So I'm going to come home, and when I ask my father to forgive me, and I will tell him to treat me as one of his servants. I want to point out something. This guy, he didn't care about his father. In his examination, he didn't think about, Father, I'm so sorry I hurt you. No. Father, treat me as your son because I want food. It's still about him. He is what I would consider, for many times in our lives, imperfect contrition. Okay? He wants to go home mainly because of him, because he wants food, not because he wants to ask his father and make his father feel better. And so here he is. He go home because he wants food from far away, and he has his own plan out how he's going to say it. This is where it's so beautiful. His father, filled with compassion. The original word, brothers and sisters, literally mean his gut, his bowel was so moved with love for his son. And while his son was still far away, his father ran to the son. Think of it like someone who is angry and mad and resentful and criticized the church so badly. And when they hear they're coming to St. Faustina, I run all the way out to 1463. Let's go to the church. I'm going to do that one day. But that's his father. Isn't that amazing? And then when his father saw him, this son who hurt him so badly, right? His son hurt him so badly. His father, before he even say anything, run over, embrace him, and kiss him. The original language is not just like a kiss. It's like, you know? So his son was like, whoa. He was so moved by that. So his son said, Father, I have sinned against God and against you. I no longer deserve to be your son. His plan was, treat me as one of your servant, right? Because he already lost his dignity as the son of God. He no longer deserved to be the son of the Father. But notice, this is so beautiful from Jesus' very lips. Before he could even say it, Jesus did not allow him to say, treat me as one of your servants. Quickly, bring out the robe, bring out the ring and the sandal, and put it on him. Pause, the robe. In the book of Revelation, the visionary saw the heavenly kingdom where the multitude of the elect was in the presence of the Lamb wearing white robe. This is the Father who, even though the Son had imperfect contrition, is giving to him the robe of heaven. And put on his ring. And it's not just like any ring. This is the ring with the seal. In the old day, if you seal the letter, it's authority. This is restoring his dignity, his ownership as a son with authority over the servants. And put the sandals on him, because servants wear barefoot, the son wears sandals. He immediately restored his son to everything that is in heaven. Everything. And he said, now, quick, let's slaughter a fattened calf and let's celebrate, let's party. I want to ask you parents, and especially you father, you men who have children. I'm pretty sure, like me, you're thinking, this father maybe is too imprudent. You need to make sure that before I give him back everything he has, I want to make sure that he already get better, he changed, that he's already, he's truly repent. Surely you would say that. Bingo. That's precisely Jesus' point in the order of grace. Even when we're so far away, even when we can't even get ourselves to work hard to deserve heaven, God takes initiative, runs out to give to us. Whether you sit right here, whether you are very deep in your faith right now, or whether you're way back out there, or you're far out in your faith, you deserve nothing but heaven. It's because of the Father's love. Marvelously, it doesn't end there. Jesus continued. So they celebrate. There's an older son. Older son was out in the field. He comes home. He's like, wow, he hears music and celebration. He called the servant over. What's going on? The servant said, your brother, he came home. Your father is so happy. He killed a fattened calf and have a celebration. Gives him back everything. The older son got really mad. He refused to go home. He refused to go home. Now here's again, it's always God's initiative. The Father came out to him. I would imagine he would be running as well. Go out to the son. And he goes out to the son. The son didn't even call him father. At least the other son, when he comes home, said, Father, I'm sorry. This older son, who's there all the time, who is representative many of us, who's in the church every Sunday, we're doing everything right, and we're working so very hard to go into faith. But yet, he's so far away from his father. He didn't even call him father. Father come out in his resentment. He said this, look, all these years, I can find that. Okay. So let's come out to the, and he said this. His father come out. He didn't even call him father. Look, all these years I served you, and not once did I disobey your orders. This is someone who was always doing the right thing. Yet you never give me even a young goat to feast with my friends. But now your son, not his brother, your son returns, who swallowed up everything with prostitutes for him. You slaughter a fattened calf. I want you to hear his father say, even though he didn't call him his father looked and said, my son, you are here with me always. Everything that I have is yours. Everything that is in my house, every spiritual grace, everything that Padre Pio, John Paul II, Mother Teresa have is yours. Is yours. Everything. In other words, you do not have to work so hard and see yourself as a slave to deserve it. It's not about working hard to deserving. It's about God taking the first initiative, giving you and I everything that we need, even when we are not perfectly contrite. That's our God. That's our God. That's the God of Jesus that He shows to us. no matter where we are, how far, how close. In the Father's house, there is always home. There's a space, a heart, a home for all of us. I remember listening to one of the priests saying something that impacted me so much. This priest talks about parish life. He said, if you have a parish where at the time of communion, some people get up and the ladies, they left their purse in the chair and not take it with them because they trust that everybody is so, in the church, is honest and won't take it, your church is not really the church yet. Because the church, to be truly the face of a father, has a home for everyone. For everyone, especially sinners. Remember, this parable was given to the Pharisees who was mad at Jesus for hanging out with sinners. Come home. Come home. This is home. The Father's heart is home. And the whole inheritance of heaven belongs to us. There's a home for all of us. That's what Lent is about. May we come to recognize that and come home.